Welcome back. I just shared my personal story of surviving sex abuse as a child, and there will surely be many questions. Janice Palm is joining me now. She's a counselor with Sepherd's Counseling Services, which provides low-cost therapy to victims of sexual abuse. So Janice, I just shared my story. If someone is thinking about sharing their story, what's the first step? Where do they go?
It's a really good idea to reach out for help to professionals. In this area, there are a couple of hotlines. KSARC has one, Harborview Sexual Assault. I don't know, maybe we can get the info up there. Sepherd's Counseling Services, that's what we do. That's all we do is treat adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse. It's good to have safety around it, definitely.
You know, one of the biggest criticisms happening amidst this whole scandal is some of the most powerful women in Hollywood not speaking up. Angelina Jolie, and people say, why are you speaking up now? Why didn't you do it before? Angelina Jolie, you're trying to save the world. Why couldn't you say this sooner?
You know, I think this is a really great point, because when we know from statistics, people don't talk about this. They don't talk about it because it feels so bad and so shaming. And that's true whether you're a child and you don't understand what's happening to you, or whether you're an adult and something came at you and surprised you and violated you in the way that sexual assault does. Victims tend to blame themselves. They don't speak up.
Why is that? Why do we blame ourselves inherently for something that someone did to us?
I think because of the shame. I think it's such an intimate violation of self. There's not a chance often to say no. It comes by surprise, or it's just expected. There's definitely an abuse of power, and so that's felt. And it can feel threatening, it can feel scary in some circumstances, but when we're victimized, it's a strange and unique human thing. We do tend to blame ourselves.
You mentioned an abuse of power and kind of relayed a scenario to me when we were sitting outside. You said, you want 16-year-old girls to hear this as well, girls whose boyfriends might be pressuring them to have sex. You can't get out of my car until you have sex with me, things of that nature. What would you say to young girls who are kind of starting to experience these relationships with men?
That you have power. You always have power to protect yourself. I think when someone who might be stronger and have more power is coming onto you, coming at you, having an expectation, it becomes about protecting yourself, because it's frightening, it's scary, and so it might seem even scarier to say no at that point. But I think empowering young people, girls, boys, men, and women, I mean, this doesn't just happen to women, it happens to men too, to be able to say, it's not okay for you to touch me or have those expectations of me.
Yeah. What is one thing that helps people move forward?
The very thing, the opposite of what we're talking about, is being able to share your story and being able to say, this happened to me. And it's a very, as you know, a very courageous thing to do that. Very, very. For children, they often don't have the strength or the courage to do that. So we need adults in our lives when we're kids to watch for this. But when it becomes apparent, please reach out for help, tell your story. There's a lot of people, and it's still surprising to me, I hear from folks, they don't think that there's anything to do about it. They don't think that help is possible, and that's so not true. Help is really possible, and find a safe person, a safe place to tell your story.
Mark, you had some questions?
Oh, Amity, mainly just comments on the King 5 Facebook page after your post, just an avalanche of comments. Samantha says, love your strength. My story is not as extreme, but me too. Thank you for sharing, for being brave, sending love. Sherry says, God bless you, Amity. You're a beautiful, strong, courageous woman, and we all love you, and thank you. Sue says, you had me in tears watching your story this afternoon. I, too, have experienced similar stories and never told anyone. Thank you for sharing. You are an amazing and strong woman. Hugs.
Now that has me in tears.
And
wow.
That's just 2 or 3 of dozens and dozens.
Wow,
yeah.
That is powerful. And to hear that it makes people want to share their stories, it is what's most important, really. Whew. So we're going to go upstairs right now and continue this conversation on Facebook Live. And if you will stay with us and maybe answer some questions. As we head to break, though, here's another look at the Me Too movement. More brave people are speaking out and sharing what happened to them.